From De La Salle High School in Concord, it's the Comcast Game of the Week. Hello, everybody. I'm Anthony Schultz, along with Roger Brothers. A couple of hot teams coming in. Amador Valley taking on the Spartans of De La Salle. Both teams right now trying to get to that championship game.
Should be two pretty high-caliber teams. You're going to see a lot of teams with good skill, good first touches, a lot of speed. Look like they've got some pretty good size and some pretty decent goalkeeping as well. Should see a lot of shots on goal and the ball moving up and down the field and side to side quite a bit.
Couple of hot teams. One of the teams is going to the championship game. The other one is going home. Come on back. The opening kickoff is coming up next.
For decades, Dolan's has been providing the finest quality name brands for new...
And back at De La Salle High School in Concord, Anthony Schultz along with Roger Brothers, where the De La Salle Spartans get set to host the Dons of Amador Valley. And Roger, a couple of really good teams going at it here tonight.
Yeah, this is some top-level teams. You have a lot of talent. They both are fed by some clubs in the area with some high-caliber training, some high-caliber players. These players are all very skilled, especially the De La Salle team. They've got some good leadership. The Amador team is filled primarily from the Pleasanton Ballistic team, which is one of the better club teams in the area. De La Salle, as you're aware, they draw from a large area, not just Concord, not just Pleasant Hill, Walnut Creek, but all over. And they have a pretty heavy influence as well from the local club here, the DVSC, or Diablo Valley Soccer Club, which also of late has had some pretty good success with the age group and a lot of these kids playing.
Yeah, and also we might... Saturday, we also might have the championship game, so check the times and local listings for the game and time in your areas. And now let's set it down onto the field for tonight's announcements.
Visiting Amador Valley Dons. Number 5, Joe Carlucci. Number 24, Tasso Comenescu. Number 7, Joel Crompton. Number 14, Matt Dronkers. Number 3, Jeremy Dunn. Number 0, Andrew Gangus. Number 22, John Gonkoff. Number 21, Patrick Gonkoff. Number 23, Jordan King. Number 3, Jeff Lee. Number 8, Carson Courtney. Number 15, Mario Martinez. Number 20, Nestor Negretti. Number 12, Matt Norlander. Number 17, Sean Payne. Number 19, Daniel Poe. Number 11, Louis Rocha. Number 13, Mustafa Ruparola. Number 2, Kyle Schlump. Number 6, Scott Schwartz. Number 16, Matt Sheehan. Number 10, Ross Smith. And number 4, James Turner. Rob Flores and Tony Chavarria are your assistant coaches, and your head coach is Ken Villegas. Now for your nose out. Number 0, Matt Ells. Number 1, Stephen Fry. Number 2, Nick Angelillo. Number 3, Patrick Salazar. Number 4, Nick Fitzpatrick. Number 5, Michael Binswanger. Number 6, Kyle Fox. Number 7, Chris Carroll. Number 8, Peter Missouri. Number 9, Andrew Ross. Number 10, Patrick Dolan. Number 11, Matt O'Neill. Number 12, Michael Waller. Number 13, Michael Madden. Number 14, Devin Perez. Number 15, Dominic Vaticano. Number 16, Josh Terwilliger. Number 17, Nick Seithel. Number 18, Tom Parker. Number 19, Sean Talugas. Number 20, Alex Harkins. Number 21, Vincent Colvis. Number 22, Daniel DeChico. Number 23, Brian Murphy. Assistant coaches, Jonathan Bernal, Derek Brown, and Mario Silva. And head coach, Brian Voltatorni. Now, please rise for the playing of your national anthem.
And a stirring rendition of the national anthem as the ball game gets set to get underway. We take a look at Amador Valley coming in 18-5-2, involved in a three-way tie for first place in the East Bay League, and De La Salle coming in 21-2-2, first overall in the BVAL. And what probably makes these two teams very good, Roger, is first and foremost is good goalkeeping. Probably the cornerstone of any good soccer team.
Yeah, you've got to start in the back with good, solid goalkeeping, and then from there you build up. And they also have very good defenses. You'll see that these teams, not only are their defenders skilled, but they have speed, which neutralizes the other team's offense, keeps the pressure off your own keeper, and then, of course, you can rely on the good goalkeeping. In fact, I think Patrick Fry, if I'm not mistaken, I believe he has it's a keeper for De La Salle, has a scholarship offer to Cal, and obviously that's very commendable. And again, I think what you're going to find is that these teams play all the way. They play the ball out of the back, which means you're not going to find a lot of these teams one touching the ball from their goalie all the way forward. They're going to play it through their backs, through the midfield, and up to their forwards.
And De La Salle is coached by Brian Voltatorni, and his opposite number is Ken Villegas of Amador Valley. And these teams meeting here in this NCS semifinal game, and the winner will go on to the NCS championship game Saturday night. So we're just about to set for the opening kickoff. De La Salle in their home white, Amador in their travel purple with the white trim. And pretty interesting how the midfield stripe just happens to be the 50-yard line, but that doesn't matter. It's not the 50, it's the midfield stripe for our purposes here tonight.
The midfield stripe, or more accurately, the half line.
and Roger just reach out and just, hit me in the head or something if I start saying going from the 40 to the 30 kind of thing, something like that.
As long as he doesn't get tackled, I guess we're okay.
And the ball game is underway. Here's De La Salle trying to kick it out of their zone, and Amador has it on the offensive end. And the ball booted back toward midfield. And here's De La Salle trying to work on offense. Too many purple shirts. The ball is kicked out of bounds. It'll be a De La Salle throw-in.
Nice chest touch there by number 7. Oh, let him play on there.
And you're okay as long as it doesn't touch the shoulder or any part of the arm.
Right.
All right, Amador trying to work it back into the zone. Here's a shot way up high and out of bounds.
I'm not sure if that was supposed to be a shot or a cross that just didn't get quite centered on him.
Certainly not a shot on goal that time. Went well off the mark.
Keeper was pretty safe there.
I mean, the goal is, 21 feet wide, 8 feet high.
24 feet wide, 8 feet high.
8 feet high. Here you take another look.
Well, looks like we have a player down on the field for Amador.
Amador player down.
Number 11.
Luis Rocha, number 11. And I'll take a look at him and hopefully that he's okay. Still on the ground as you see. There's Luis.
It looks like Amador is going to be playing a 3-5-2. Looks like that's what they're coming out in, at least initially.
Now explain what is that? What is that 3-5-2? Kind of
three defenders in the back, 5 in the midfield, and then 2 up top. I think that's what it looks like initially. We'll have to take a closer look at that and see if that develops. It looks like Luis Rocha's okay. They're helping him off the field. At least he's getting off on his own power. And it looks like De La Salle's coming down to 4-4-2, which is 4 defenders in the back, 4 in the midfield, and then 2 forwards up top.
De La Salle will have it, kick it away. Or at least Rocha was able to walk off under his own power, so that's a good sign. And we are ready to get back underway.
It's a pretty good clear.
And the ball booted back toward midfield and headed back the other way. Ball near the sideline. As long as the ball doesn't go completely over that sideline, it is in the field of play.
That's correct.
And now it's out of bounds. And looks like it'll be a throw-in or a corner kick here.
No, I believe it's a throw-in.
It's tough from our angle here. It's very tough to see into that corner. It is going to be a throw-in for De La Salle and headed back away from the Amador goal. Spartans, a couple of big winning streaks. Excuse me, Roger, a couple of big winning streaks so far this year in compiling that wonderful record that they have. And here's the ball going up the far sideline, and Amador Valley trying to put on the pressure and then kick down the field, and then just white shirts surrounding it there.
You can see De La Salle has no hesitation to play the ball back to their keeper, involve him in the play, even though he can't play with his hands. If it's passed back to him with their feet, they have a lot of confidence in Patrick Fry that he can handle that and contribute to the play. Nice ball there. It's a nice pass.
Pass, shot on goal, and diving save for Amador Valley. Nicely done.
Both of these teams seem to want to get the ball, pass it through the middle, through the midfield, and as soon as they cross the midfield stripe.
Andrew Gagnes with that save. Take another look there.
Nice save. That's a nice cross. The ball went out to him. Nicely done by Patrick Dolan there.
And a real nice job, Roger, to prevent the rebound and not give the opposition another chance. There's a ball kicked down the side, and Gagnes will play this.
That's saying again, it looks like both teams want, as soon as they cross the midfield stripe or get through the midfield, that they're trying to play the ball out to the corners and get those crosses in. Both teams look to have pretty good crossers, both from the left and right side, finish it up with their forwards or central midfielders.
Gagnes again to boot this one toward midfield. And this one is headed toward the stands. Knocked out of bounds, a throw-in upcoming for Amador Valley. Here's one booted back the other way. And De La Salle trying to give chase to keep this one in the zone, and Amador trying to get it back the other side of the field. De La Salle on the attack. And the ball again kicked out of bounds.
Looks like that was a bit of a miscommunication. Looks like he was expecting the outside player there to overlap around him, and he fed him the ball, and he wasn't quite there.
So now this field, being that we're on a football field here, it's about 53 yards wide. That is usually a little bit lean as far as a regular soccer field is concerned.
Yeah, most of the soccer fields, for example, if you look at the soccer fields that they use for the World Cup or the professional leagues, they're probably up to 75 yards wide and maybe 110, maybe 120 yards long, much larger than these fields. But hey, you know what? These kids aren't complaining. They're playing on a turf field here. They could be playing in the mud, so they're pretty happy.
Nice facility they have here at De La Salle. And wouldn't you know it, we know how good the football team is, we know how good the basketball team is, and, well, go figure, the soccer team's pretty good, too.
Yeah, they can hold their own.
Out of bounds. And De La Salle will throw it in. Spartans starting that year with, Amador starting the year with 4 straight wins, and also had a 7-game winning streak in the middle of the season. They finished winning 3 out of their last 4, and that one blemish was a tie. So they finished very strongly as well. Here's one booted, headed toward the sideline, and that one's going to go out of bounds.
I was kind of surprised to see. It looks like the way.
Rocco's Restaurante and Pizzeria voted best pizza in the East Bay, Ignacio Valley Road at Oak Grove. And Velocity Sports Performance, 1505 Willow Pass Road in Concord, 363-0066. And Dolan's Lumber, Doors and Windows, 2750 Camino Diablo in Walnut Creek, 2231 Monument Boulevard in Concord. And Brentwood Dodge, Chrysler and Jeep, 8085 Brentwood Boulevard in Brentwood, 634-9900. Thank you, Gene and Clark, all of our sponsors, to help us bring to you the Comcast Game of the Week.
Nice throw.
De La Salle throw in, ball near the goal, and it was just picked up and over the crossbar.
Boy, just missed that.
And that was very close to being the first goal of the ball game.
This is nicely done.
That's Nick Fitzpatrick, of De La Salle, who very nearly had himself a goal.
Watch this as the ball is thrown in, and then it's flicked on, and just over the top of the bar. Nicely done.
And Gagas was sliding down, and he really didn't have much of a chance had that ball been just a little bit lower. But very fortunate that time. Fitzpatrick's ball was just a little bit high. So De La Salle nearly drew first blood, but we remain scoreless here. Nearly 8 minutes into the contest. Here's the ball right in front of us. Out of the field. De La Salle trying to get it out of the zone.
Nice switch. They changed the field there. Change the field to play. Take it from the right side of the field over to the left quickly there. That's what I talked about earlier. You can see these guys, they're going to change the play here quite a bit.
Here's De La Salle trying to get back on the attack. Here's Fitzpatrick. And bodies hit the floor. Now, what is the ruling on that? We have some contact there. How exactly does that work with that type of play?
Well, in that particular play, he just basically ran into him, kind of ran over him. The player with the ball has a right to maintain the ball, and as long as it's a shoulder-to-shoulder or a hip-to-hip contact, you're okay. But if you charge into the other player, it's going to be deemed a foul, and especially if they think that you're out of control at all.
Is that regardless if you actually touch the ball first or not? Does that matter?
Doesn't typically matter. A lot of times if you touch the ball first, you have a better chance of letting the referee let you play on. However, if you touch the ball and then take the player out, you're probably going to get called for the foul.
Here's Amador Valley trying to mount an attack. Dolan has it for De La Salle. And the Spartans trying to bring it back the other way.
Nice ball, nice through ball.
Michael Madden with it. Sends it in. Here's one booted toward the goal.
Nice shot.
Score for De La Salle. And I believe that was number 10, Patrick Dolan. So Patrick Dolan with the first goal of the game at the 30th minute. And it's 1-0 De La Salle.
It's a little unbelievable. He's their leading goal scorer, yet he was left completely unmarked in the middle of the field. Look at this. He's completely unmarked in the middle of the field, had all day to tee it up and take a beautiful shot to the upper V there, upper left corner.
Boy, going top shelf there. That was booted from quite a distance back.
That was a nice ball.
In fact, nearly 25 yards back.
It was a great look to find him, and then Patrick Dolan puts it away. Again, he's their leading scorer. You got to make sure you get a mark on him.
Yeah, 36 points for Dolan coming in, 16 goals and 4 assists. And he's got a goal here. And it's De La Salle 1 and Amador Valley nothing.
Just missed the give and go. Nice opportunity there. Just missed it.
Nick Fitzpatrick also had a nice year scoring for De La Salle. He ended up with 10 goals, 3 assists, and 23 points overall.
The foul there. This is an opportunity to ask him about getting the ball. He got the ball there, but also got his leg. Referee is going to deem that it was a little too aggressive and award De La Salle the foul. They're going to get the free kick.
So De La Salle with a free kick on the Amador side of the field, and I want to say from the 40. That doesn't really matter.
He hopes it doesn't go through the uprights.
And now the players all bunch up near that goal box. And here's Gagnes to play this one here.
It's fairly easily played there. Now he's got the drop ball style, where he actually lets the ball hit the ground and then punts it.
So like a drop kick?
Yeah, almost like a drop kick. You see a lot of the European goalies utilize that. Most of them use it as a timing mechanism. A little easier than just punting the ball out of the air.
Talk about De La Salle's dominance. A 21-2-2 record, 13-0-1 in the BBAL. They, of course, were the league champs. They scored 55 goals during all those ball games and gave up only 11.
Yeah, they're pretty strong defensively. You can see how tightly they're bunched there defensively. You look around and any time that there's a purple player, there's a white white-shirted player right next to him.
And Amador Valley, so far, Roger, really has not had a true shot on goal yet.
No, they're
not really threatened to score.
Other than that first play where they got down that right wing there and they took the shot or across that went a little awry, that they really haven't been able to penetrate De La Salle's defense. Their midfield gets back pretty quickly, and they slow the play down, and then their backs pretty much just shut it down.
Purchase your copy of this game, shipping courtesy of UPS included, $25. Give us a call, 933-6264. All right, Amador trying to mount an attack. Here's one pooched in, down to the corner.
It's going to go
and that'll be out of bounds. So top players for this De La Salle team, of course, Stephen Fry, NSCAA All-American goalkeeper. Only 2 were selected. And as Roger alluded to earlier, he will be attending the University of California on an athletic scholarship. First team all-tournament at the West Coast High School Classic. And he is one of the captains of this squad.
We saw the De La Salle rugby team there in attendance.
And don't tell me they're great, too. Well, that was actually a shot on goal that time for Amador Valley, but a fairly easy chance.
Look at this punt. That punt just traveled about 60 yards in the air. It gets shut.
Well, would you like to see more soccer on the Comcast Game of the Week? If so, give us a call, 933-6264. And if we get enough of those phone calls and enough sponsors, well, we'll put on more soccer.
Absolutely. Speaking selfishly, I'd love to see more soccer.
I mean, considering that it is the most popular sport in the world.
The world sport, as they call it, although I know some people will disagree with that.
And certainly, here's a throw-in.
Nice throw. Well,
Gagnes is able to take it there, and it looks like he might have been shaken up.
I think he came down a little funny.
And the referee stopped play here, and they'll take a look at the Amador goalkeeper.
He came down a little awkwardly as he stretched for the ball. Yeah, he just landed a little awkwardly.
Yeah, well, Amador can only hope that he's okay.
Yeah, hopefully it's just a little, looks like it's his back, maybe a muscle spasm.
That's the second player shaken up here tonight. What are we playing, football? What But of course,
And actually, this has not been a very physical game so far.
No, but actually, from what I've been hearing and reading, is that soccer actually can be kind of tough sometimes, especially with all the heading going on. Heads collide and everything. And I guess there was some talk about having soccers wear some type of headgear.
There's an outfit that makes a particular headgear, and you don't see it very much in the boys soccer, but you'll see it. And it looks like he's going to help off. That's good, and hopefully he'll be okay. Amador Valley brings in another keeper, but a lot of the girls teams, especially the older girls teams, will wear the headgear, protect themselves from that.
So a new player in goal here for Amador Valley. Anastasio Comanesco, the backup goalkeeper now. He'll come on and take over for Gagnes. We can only hope that he's okay. Still being helped over there on the sideline.
He's still walking pretty slowly over there.
And they'll check him out, and hopefully, Roger, he'll be able to come back in.
Yeah, it looks like it's his back. Hopefully, they can maybe get some ice on that, and he can come back in.
So Amanesco, a junior, takes over in goal for the Dons. Here's one thrown in. Dons try to boot it away, and they do, but out of bounds. And another throw-in upcoming here for De La Salle.
Looks like that's a bit of a set play for De La Salle. They throw the ball in, try and get a throw to a player's head, try to flick it on toward the goal, and hope to get a foot on it or another head to put it in goal.
Tolobus throwing this one in. Ball near the goal, headed around a couple of times, still near the goal, and then finally booted out of bounds again. Let me say that again. Sean Talibas, number 19, threw that in.
Again, this time they just go straight up again, but it looks like he's trying to flick this ball on across the goal mouth. Hey, what the heck? It worked once.
And actually, Ross Smith headed that ball unintentionally. The ball came right down in his noggin. Unfortunately for Amador Valley, that one didn't find the net.
Yeah, this keeper, obviously, we haven't seen him yet, but he's quite a bit shorter than Gagnes.
Look at some of the good defenders here on the De La Salle team. Nick Seifel, first team all-tournament at that West Coast High School Classic, and Chris Carroll, starting center back all year. Carroll and Seifel have been the leaders in that back line. And one thing also very important for these guys, they've got to have some pretty good endurance running around here all day.
Especially in a 4-4-2 that De La Salle plays, their outside midfielders are running all day long.
As far as these type of alignments, Roger, you having coached soccer and been around soccer for so long, anyone that you prefer, anyone that goes to a basic strategy?
You know, it really depends on the players that you have, the personnel. If you're going to run a 4-4-2 like De La Salle is running, you really need to have those outside players that can get up and down the outside of the field and cover. Those guys are running all up and down. Same thing.
There's Coach Voltatorni of De La Salle.
If you don't have those outside players, you have to think about another formation. Maybe give yourself 3 forwards instead. Let those outside forwards do some of the running instead of those midfielders.
Amador throwing this one in toward the goal, headed away by De La Salle. And De La Salle trying to clear, Amador trying to keep it in. Ball coming out near midfield. And here's De La Salle going down the far sideline. Spartans on a bit of a breakaway here. Ball centered and kicked up and over the goal, and looked like it went through the football goalposts, but unfortunately that doesn't count.
No, it doesn't count. It doesn't count here.
That was another good scoring chance for De La Salle, and they've had a few, and they've actually made some noise on that end of the field. Take another look.
This is a nice cross here. Just missed. Nice near post cross. Just got under that one a bit. 9-iron instead of a 4.
All right, Amador trying to get it back on that offensive end. And this one going out of bounds.
He called a foul there. whenever you see the assistant referee on the sideline wave his flag there, that means he saw a foul that maybe the center referee didn't see. So now Amador is going to get a free kick there.
So Amador, free kick from the far side. Let's see how close to the goal this one gets. Booted down and taken by Fry.
Get a goal kick.
So in the winter rankings, there's Stephen Fry, Stefan Fry, actually. And he'll be at Cal after this season, playing on at the next level.
He's got a very strong leg.
This one booted.
Gets you out of trouble in a hurry.
More than halfway down the field. And if he doesn't make it in soccer, maybe he could punt for somebody in the NFL.
There's
that
two,
one a nice kick.
Two former kickers, keepers from the area right now.
Binswanger.
Binswanger.
Right. Brothers on this team.
Right, and Schneider from Las Lomas.
Schneider from Las Lomas.
Is the place kicker for Cal, and Binswanger is their kickoff kicker.
Yeah, we saw his older brother kick, and he looked like he had no problem at all from 45 yards away, knocking field goals through. Very strong leg.
Nice
Here's one down to the side.
Nice tackle.
A couple of players taken down. And those boys' winter rankings, De La Salle places 10th right now. Saddleback of Santa Ana, California, coming in as number one ranked soccer team.
Foul there on Amador.
Take another look at this. There was a tackle that Roger alluded to.
He was out of bounds. Otherwise, well, he wasn't quite out of bounds, but he got the ball before he got the player, and the referee let him play on.
That's what I was talking about. So if you get the ball and it's not considered too violent of a collision, you're okay.
The bottom line in soccer is that, more probably so than most other sports, is that the referee has a lot of discretion as to what fouls to call and which to let go.
Oh, and Amador Valley just does avoid another goal as De La Salle had another pretty good scoring chance.
And they ended up with a corner kick here.
And Ross Smith, for the moment, able to help Amador avert the second goal for De La Salle, but it'll be a corner kick upcoming here for the Spartans. Join the Game of the Week team. Increase viewer awareness of your business. Give us a call, 933-6264. Corner kick, ball inside.
Dangerous.
Here's booted into the pack there, and it comes out, and Amador's able to clear it here. And this one headed toward the far sideline and out of bounds.
Amador was very fortunate to dodge that bullet.
You figure, Roger, so many chances here for De La Salle. Before too long, they're going to start breaking through with some of these, and they already have the 1-0 lead.
Yeah, you get enough opportunities, enough shots on goal, the odds are in your favor. Especially with a new keeper. I don't know how much playing time this keeper for Amador had. It's a big game to come in kind of cold. Sure, he wasn't expecting to be playing this early, if at all.
Well, some good news for Amador. Luis Rocha, number 11, back in the game after
nice ball.
Being on the ground earlier in the ball game. He is back on the field and moving all right.
Lost control, but that was a nice ball by Amador into the corner there. Just couldn't quite get around the De La Salle player to get a cross off.
Spartans in that quarterfinal, they won over Cal 1-0 to advance to this game. And Amador, in a very wild affair, beat Pittsburgh 2-1.
Pittsburgh's a very good team. That's a lot of speed and skill in that Pittsburgh team.
Pittsburgh just did finish second to De La Salle in the BBAL. Ball kicked toward midfield.
Nice touch. We talked about before at the beginning of the game about the first touch of these players. It's all very, very close, very neat.
And that's what that first touch is so important, because that's when you get control of the ball
right,
as quickly as possible.
And you knock it away from the defender and you start your play. Either you start to play from there, or as you say, you maintain possession. Your team keeps the ball, allows the rest of your team to catch up with you and advance your attack.
Here's one sent over the near side. And you see that sideline there, the football sideline is not out of bounds, as you may have guessed by now. And I'm not exactly sure. I think from our vantage point, it's tough to see the line that actually is out of bounds.
Yeah, there's a yellow line down there somewhere.
obstructed from our view, but trust me, it's there.
Players see it. Nice touch. Nice little over the shoulder. There's a foul there.
Foul against Amador, and there's us. You can see us, they're waving. Roger and I with a bird's eye view here from Owen Owens Field here in Concord.
It's actually a pretty nice facility in the press box here.
Well, De La Salle deserves nothing but the best. They win all the time.
It's true.
I know football and basketball and soccer. And you figured if they played Monopoly and Parcheesi, they'd probably be pretty good at that too.
Oh, that's no foul.
We're going to award this throw in here for De La
I
Salle.
think they said the ball was out of bounds before the foul.
Amador trailing 1-0. As of yet have not mounted much of an offense, and that might be a tripping call there?
I'm not sure. I think he's going to call it obstruction. He obstructed the player from going forward. But I thought the foul on the far sideline was more of a foul than that one.
Rocco's Restaurante and Pizzeria voted best pizza in the East Bay. Ignacio Valley Road at Oak Grove. And thanks very much for the crew meal tonight, guys.
Very good.
Thank you, Rocco. Velocity Sports Performance, 1505 Willow Pass Road in Concord. Here's one booted down. And here's De La Salle. Nice takeaway there.
Kept it in. Oh,
for Amador Valley, but De La Salle able to bring it out anyway. Michael Madden working with the ball. And so far, Amador thwarts that chance.
Almost. Nice. Unfortunate there. No, but Amador retains possession.
So Amador will have it on the far side. 1-0 De La Salle. Dolan scored at the 32-minute mark for our only score so far of the game. And speaking of Dolan's Lumber Doors and Windows, 2750 Camino Diablo in Walnut Creek and 2231 Monument Boulevard in Concord. I've got a screen door that's in desperate need of repair.
I'm sure Gene O'Dolan would love to help you out.
And Brentwood Dodge Chrysler Jeep, 8085 Brentwood Boulevard in Brentwood, 634-9900. And I could also use a new vehicle, but it's probably a little out of my price range.
I saw Clark around here earlier. It's big clear.
Booted down toward midfield. De La Salle trying to get back in the attack. Nick Fitzpatrick boots it down, but too many purple shirts.
Yeah, I think he was trying to change the field over here to the right side and just couldn't quite get it through there. Nice play by Amador to thwart that attack.
Cominescu playing it out to Ross Smith, and now back toward midfield. So far, Amador been pretty frustrated on the offensive end, but they've got to be fairly happy with out a whole lot of offense, or no offense, really, for them, just down only 1-0.
Well, what they've tended to do so far, at least this first half, is they're only playing with two forwards, and they're sending those two forwards in, sending them long balls against four backs for De La Salle. So it's tough. Their numbers down in the attack, and which means basically there are more defenders than there are attacking players. So they're trying to get their midfield involved in the offense there and in the attack and give them some support. When they've done that, they've been able to pin the ball down here a couple of times and get some at least some scoring opportunities.
So they'll throw it in here. This one launched towards the goal, and coming out to take it is Stefan Fry. And of course, in that situation, the goalkeeper, big advantage is he can reach up and grab the ball.
Yeah, especially at Patrick Fry's height.
All right, Amador tried him out in attack.
So now they've got their midfield. They brought their midfield up. Amador has into this attack, and it's a much more patient attack. Giving them some numbers, just a little mishit there.
Matt Dronkers, number 14, booted this one, but out of bounds it goes. And De La Salle will throw it in. 1-0 Spartans over the Dons. Here on a chilly night in Concord. Pretty nice crowd. The stands in front of us filled up rather nicely here.
At least the De La Salle side is filled up.
And Cominescu plays this one off to Ross Smith. There's that crowd. One headed up in the air.
Nice.
Dronkers
Ball.
keeps it in.
Unlucky there.
And De La
Nice
Salle
ball.
to clear.
Nice ball down the wing.
See if they can chase that one down into the corner.
Just got away from him.
And Fitzpatrick can't gather it in, and out of bounds it goes. Take a look at some of the crowd in attendance here tonight.
I guess they put De La Salle and Amador on the same sideline. It like De La Salle's to our left and Amador folks are to our right.
Purchase your copy of this game. Shipping courtesy of UPS included. Give us a call. $25, 933-6264. Throw in here for Amador. Ball volleyballed into the air.
The substitution looks like Amador's going to substitute a player in.
Here's that full moon over Concord.
There you go. And De La Salle too. A couple of substitutions, both for De La Salle and for Amador.
No, it's interesting that the rules on substitution is you just can't run in onto the field whenever you like. You have to go check in with the scorer, and
You have to check in with in high school soccer, typically you have to check in with the assistant referee, who's the sideline referee, report to him, and then he signals. Nice shot, a little high.
their Dronkers nailing that one, but well high as we look at Stefan Fry.
There it is again. Nice look at it, nice turn, just got under it just a little bit.
There's Matt again,
Just a bit high.
the sophomore midfielder. And that's that one and one other similar to that are the only real threats that Amador has had so far.
They haven't had a lot of shots on goal, as we pointed out earlier. Nice turn there by number 7 for Amador.
Here's Amador running down the
Nice
far
cross.
side. And Fry comes
play.
out and makes a nice save.
Nice save.
Because he had a purple shirt bearing down on him that time, and if he doesn't come up with that one cleanly, Amador might be able to tie this ball game.
That was a very nice cross. Had 2 players running onto that ball.
And that's a hands on the ball that time. Matt Norlander, number 12. And that is definitely illegal. But again, we saw earlier Gagnes do it, and then we see Fry do it here. When you make that save, it's not enough just to prevent the ball from going in the goal. You've really got to grab it, or
Right.
chances are that rebound's going right back in the net.
Well, as we saw, Amador had 2 forwards right up there in front of that goal just waiting. If he would have mishandled that ball, they were right there to put it in. This is interesting. They bring Fry all the way up out of his goal
Kicking
to
it
come
from
up and take a free
mid-strike.
kick. Yeah, from the half line.
That's how much they think of his leg.
It's clearly the strongest leg on the team. Might as well use it.
Throw in upcoming here on the far side for De La Salle. And now De La Salle will toss it in. Yeah, Talibas come in there to throw that one in. Fitzpatrick knocks this one up in the air, and Cummins-Q picks it off, and he'll boot it away for the Dons. Headed back toward midfield, and a player down.
That's just a contact tripping foul.
Take a look at this last trip. And another free kick here.
It's awarded a yellow card.
So that's the first warning there against Amador.
It went to, no, actually the yellow card went to De La Salle, number 17. In the high school rules, he has to leave the field of play until the next stoppage.
Nick Seifel getting that yellow card. I missed that exactly, Roger. What exactly was that yellow card for?
I think he was complaining about the contact, and the referee took exception to whatever he said.
Okay, now one more of those
And
could possibly result in a disqualification.
well, definitely. Well, one more yellow card for him tonight, and he's done for tonight.
And
in fact, he would miss the next game at least if De La Salle goes on.
And then De La Salle would or would not be a man down into that situation.
No, in that situation, that's what they call a soft red. They would be able to substitute, so they would still play with 11 players.
Okay.
But Mr. Seifel's evening would be over.
It's only the red card disqualification that you cannot resubstitute
Right,
for.
the automatic red card, it goes right to a red card, then you are required to leave the field for the rest of the evening, and your team must play down a player.
Kind of like the man down in hockey.
Exactly.
Sort of thing, right?
It'd be similar to a game misconduct in hockey.
Here's one booted toward the goal. Skew coming up with that one. I think that one looked rather routine.
Plays it out nicely, goes right back. And
the ball booted out of bounds by De La Salle, and Amador will throw it in. Amador looking pretty good, winning 4 in a row after losing their opener this year from November the 20th through December the 6th. They won 4 in a row. De La Salle trying to get back on the offensive end. Ball hit a player on the ground. Back toward midfield, headed back the other way. And now they trade headshots here.
Nice little chest down the ball.
And De La Salle boots this one. This will go out of bounds. And then a 7-game winning streak for these Dons from December the 13th through the 23rd. Put together 7 in a row. So they're certainly a team that's been accustomed to winning this year. Would you like to see more soccer on the Comcast Game of the Week? Give us a call, 933-6264.
And we just had a stoppage of play, so Mr. Sleisel was able to come back into the game. So now he's back out on the field. So he served his yellow card timeout, and he's back in.
Now, in that yellow card, as soon as there is a stoppage or a goal scored, then he can come back in.
Any stoppage of play.
Any stoppage of play.
In this instance, the ball went out of bounds.
So he may be out for quite a while, or he may be out just for a few seconds.
In this case, he's probably out for about a minute before he was allowed to come back in. But sometimes the ball doesn't go out of bounds, and he could be out, like he said, for several minutes.
Here's another ball that goes out of bounds.
It's going to be a goal kick. Well, that was dangerous. That's closer. He came all the way out to play that. If he mishits that ball, it's going in the goal.
We talked about Binswanger being at Cal. Some De La Salle alums that are playing college or even pro soccer right now. Noah Merle is at the University of California at Berkeley. John Bernal is at University of San Francisco. Join the Game of the Week team. Increase viewer awareness of your business. Give us a call, and you too could be a sponsor here at the Game of the Week. There's one played on the side. De La Salle trying to take it away.
Nice footwork there by both teams.
Well, the ball taken away and kicked away by Amador. Patrick Dolan again involved in with his ball being knocked around. Now we have a whistle. And Ross Smith handling the ball for Amador. Boots it down the other way, headed back toward midfield. And this one will be out of bounds on the near side.
Good idea, just a little bit wide. This is a fast turf, too, and the ball travels pretty fast on this artificial turf as opposed to natural grass. Although Amador plays on the same field. Amador field
same type of field?
Same turf, yeah. Amador and Foothill have the same type of turf out there.
Are they also on the football field there as well?
Almost exact same design.
Like so many of these facilities in the area are all getting this new turf. No more muddy games.
No more muddy games. No more canceled games, which is the other part of it.
And actually, a lot of times when I did sideline reporting for the football, I really appreciated not being in the mud down there. But there is something about a muddy game that just kind of inspires you a little bit.
It's fun for football. It's not quite so fun for soccer. It's not too bad when it's muddy. It's when the mud hardens.
So here, Amador with a corner kick. This one right in
Oh,
front of the goal and then
unlucky.
headed away. Fry will take it.
That was a nice ball. Just went a bit wide of the far post there.
And Fry nails one and just headed away. And nicely done by Scott Schwartz, or it looked like There was 3 white shirts on that side of the field that time. Would have been a good chance.
Oh, nice move. It's a nice little step over move there. Just couldn't quite control it.
Looked like it was going to be a good chance there for De La Salle, but Schwartz thwarted that opportunity.
That's going to be a foul there.
And now a foul.
That's going to be in favor of De La Salle. So they're going to have another free kick opportunity here. Fairly close to the goal.
Take a look at the replay here.
And it's got tangled up there.
And we have
De La Salle player had the ball, so they're calling it his way. That one of those calls that could have gone either way, probably.
Here's one. Headed away nicely there. Nicely done by Kyle Schlump to keep De La Salle from scoring there as they had centered the ball.
It's a nice little build-up right here by Amador Valley as they play the ball out of the back. And just got a little aggressive there.
Here's one kicked way out of bounds, and we have reached the 2-minute mark here in the half.
Now, from this point forward, once the clock reaches the 2-minute mark in high school soccer, the actual official time is kept by the center referee on the field. So the clock is turned off at 2 minutes, and the referee will keep the official time.
Now, what is the reason for that exactly?
Because the referee adds time a lot of times with the ball. For example, this ball got kicked almost on Treat Boulevard, so he may add time while the ball gets brought in. We had the injury to the keeper, Gagnes, in the first few minutes. Took a while to sort out. So the referee probably added some time for that stoppage as well.
There was a shot on goal that time, but a pretty easy chance for Fry. And he'll boot this one away. Look at the 2002 class for De La Salle. Keegan Fraschieri is at California State University in Chico. Chris Okamura is at the University of Kentucky. Steve Wondolowski at California State at Santa Cruz. And how about this? Aiden Brown, who went to William and Mary, now playing in the MLS for the New England Revolution.
Yeah. He played for he's played for a couple of different teams in the MLS.
Made it all the way to the show, as it were.
A big, tall keeper.
Speaking about this, you follow this pretty well. How is the MLS doing right now? I know WSA has suspended operations and may or may not come back at all.
I think the MLS is doing very well right now. They have now solidified their presence in the league. They've got a pretty good core of fans. They've built some brand new stadiums. That's going to be a yellow card.
And there it is. Yellow card going against De La Salle.
No, actually, that was going to go against Amador Valley.
Oh, pardon me, against Amador.
The De La Salle player was fouled. Pretty aggressive foul there. Pretty easy yellow card. He clearly was an attacking. And you see here, he was advancing the attack. Pretty aggressive, reckless foul there.
Yeah, Kyle Schlump
comes in pretty high with the cleats and gets a good part of the body.
So a free kick here for De La Salle, headed toward the goal.
Oh, and Gagnes is back in.
Gagnes back in. Good eyes there.
I noticed because he was much taller.
So both players that were injured earlier are back in the game for Amador. And here's one headed out of bounds.
That's good to see. I'm glad to see that he's back in the game.
So Ross Smith here to throw it in for Amador when we get back underway. 1-0 De La Salle here from Concord. Nice use of the chest there.
Good idea to try and change that. Just didn't quite get it far enough out there.
Back over near side for Ross Smith.
Tried it again.
Keeps putting it down, but ends up being a lot more white shirts around the ball than purple.
Well, the problem is right now he's trying to change the field, I think, and he's putting the ball right in the middle of the field. De La Salle has 4 backs back there, and plus they're dropping their defensive midfielder, and so there's a lot of white shirts. You've got 2 forwards up there.
There's Ken Villegas of Amador Valley, the head man.
So you only have 2 forwards up there trying to play it against 4 backs and a midfielder. And see there, he headed it back to the keeper. He can pick it up with his hands.
Here's one back toward midfield. Played by Amador, Nestor Negrete.
Same play again. They keep trying to feed these 2 forwards in the middle of the field. And Amador's had a lot more success tonight when they've gone down the wings and tried to get in one of their midfielders down along the wing in behind those backs, as opposed to trying to feed the forwards who are playing in front of De La Salle backs.
There's one booted toward the goal box. And booted
It's
up in
game.
the
That's
air.
half. Excuse me. That's halftime.
So we are at halftime here from De La Salle High School in Concord, where the Spartans lead the Dons 1-0. We'll be back right here on Comcast.
For decades, Dolan's has been providing the finest quality name brands for new construction and home improvement. Superior names like Marvin, Anderson, Milgard, Posey, and more. But it's Dolan's low truckload pricing and tradition of superior customer service that makes this retailer preferred by builders, architects, and homeowners throughout the community. Visit your nearest Dolan's and discover how affordable the very best can be. And join Dolan's in supporting your local team.
Savings so big, you do a double take.
Final closeout prices on all 2004 models.
Double take savings on all Ram pickups.
$9,000 off on this 2500 quad cab. Dominic and Dante, Clark's twins, have given us a great reason to have a double take sale. You gotta look twice.
Double take savings on Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Your double take price, $21,488.
Big city selection, small town prices, and double take savings.
Brentwood Dodge Chrysler Jeep in Brentwood.
Hi, I'm Rocco Viali, and I'd like to welcome you to Rocco's Ristorante and Pizzeria here in Walnut Creek. Rocco's is a great place for family dining. In addition to serving the best pizza in the East Bay, Rocco's also serves many classic Italian pasta specialties. Make Rocco's your home for your next team party.
Great pizza, great pasta.
Great people. Rocco's, a part of your community.
Hi, I'm Rob from Central Pinup. Check this out. Oil filter crusher. Did you know that every drained used oil filter that comes off your car still contains up to a cup of used oil? That used oil can destroy our environment and water supply. Do the right thing and place your used oil filter in a clear Ziploc bag and place it on the curb with the rest of the recyclable items. If your city does not have curbside used oil recycling, take it to your nearest certified used oil and filter recycling center. Call ahead for hours and the amount accepted. What more, if all the oil filters that were sold yearly in the United States were recycled, you would have enough steel to build 16 pro sports stadiums. Be good to the earth. Recycle your used oil and filters for a better tomorrow. Call 1-800-NO-DUMPING or check out our website at www.funnelhead.com.
It doesn't matter what sport you play. It doesn't matter what position you play. It doesn't matter whether you're turning pro or just starting out. It doesn't even matter how old you are. If you want to maximize your potential, you need Velocity Sports Performance. Velocity Sports Performance. Maximize your potential. We guarantee it.
All right, a defensive struggle so far here in Concord with the Spartans leading it 1-0, and we've got some halftime highlights for you. And Roger, of course, very good defense and very good goalkeeping.
It's early on. You get a nice little ball crossed here to the near post, and a great near post save there. And he muffled it for a second there, but jumped right back on top of it. That's nice. The keeper doesn't have any help at the near post there. He's got some help with the far post. The near post is really left to the keeper to protect. So that was all on him. That's a nice play.
Cagnes coming up with a nice play there.
This is the nice little chip just over the top of the bar. That's that little play where they throw the ball in.
Nick Fitzpatrick nearly had himself a goal there, just over the crossbar.
That was a nice play. Again, they threw it in from the sideline, flicked it in, and just over the top.
And
this is, again, Patrick Dolan, the leading scorer, left unmarked, just outside the 18. Beautiful shot there, the upper V.
Right, had some English on that one.
Yeah, that was a nice little ball. Had some top spin on that. Nice little bend to it. You know that movie Bend It Like Beckham? That's what they're talking about. Bend the ball.
Oh, he's
like
kicking curveballs here.
Yeah, he just hits
That's
it
almost unfair.
Hits it with the inside part of his foot. The ball curved right to the left there. Nice shot.
Very nicely done. And there's Dolan, leading goal scorer for this club.
This was a nice little cross right here. That was a great save by Patrick Fry. He had two foothill players right in front of the goal that time, ready to follow up on any mishandled balls.
That was probably the best chance that Amador had.
Absolutely.
Had a goal in that
absolutely.
first half.
This is a nice little corner kick. This ball gets headed just wide of the far post.
Taking a look right there. And one of the, another one of the pretty good chances there for the Dons, but they come up empty in that first half. We'll be back. Well, we'll stay here. Or we'll go, let's go to break, and then we'll come back for the second half. Stay tuned. You're watching Comcast.
For decades, Dolan's has been providing the finest quality name brands for new construction and home improvement. Superior names like Marvin, Anderson, Milgard, Posey, and more. But it's Dolan's low truckload pricing and tradition of superior customer service that makes this retailer preferred by builders, architects, and homeowners throughout the community. Visit your nearest Dolan's and discover how affordable the very best can be. And join Dolan's in supporting your local team.
Savings so big, you do a double take.
Final closeout prices on all 2004 models.
Double take savings on all Ram pickups.
$9,000 off on this 2500 quad cab. Dominic and Dante, Clark's twins, have given us a great reason to have a double take sale. You gotta look twice.
Double take savings on Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Your double take price, $21,488.
Big city selection, small town prices, and double take savings.
Brentwood Dodge Chrysler Jeep in Brentwood.
Hi, I'm Rocco Vialli, and I'd like to welcome you to Rocco's Ristorante and Pizzeria here in Walnut Creek. Rocco's is a great place for family dining. In addition to serving the best pizza in the East Bay, Rocco's also serves many classic Italian pasta specialties. Make Rocco's your home for your next team party.
Great pizza, great pasta.
Great people. Rocco's, a part of your community.
Hi, I'm Rob from Central Pinup. Check this out. Oil filter crusher. Did you know that every drained used oil filter that comes off your car still contains up to a cup of used oil? That used oil can destroy our environment and water supply. Do the right thing and place your used oil filter in a clear Ziploc bag and place it on the curb with the rest of the recyclable items. If your city does not have curbside used oil recycling, take it to your nearest certified used oil and filter recycling center. Call ahead for hours and the amount accepted. What more, if all the oil filters that were sold yearly in the United States were recycled, you would have enough steel to build 16 pro sports stadiums. Be good to the earth. Recycle your used oil and filters for a better tomorrow. Call 1-800-NO-DUMPING or check out our website at www.funnelhead.com.
It doesn't matter what sport you play. It doesn't matter what position you play. It doesn't matter whether you're turning pro or just starting out. It doesn't even matter how old you are. If you want to maximize your potential, you need Velocity Sports Performance. Velocity Sports Performance. Maximize your potential. We guarantee it.
All right, back in Concord at De La Salle High School with the Spartans at the end of one half of play lead the Dons 1-0. And Spartans and Dons looking to play in that championship game coming up Saturday. We may or may not have that for you here in the Comcast Game of the Week. Check the local listings for the game and time in your area. Anthony Schultz along with Roger Brothers. And Roger, so many of these kids grow up playing this game. We're going to get into, hopefully here in a little while, how come a lot of these people aren't turning into TV soccer fans watching pro games?
That's a good question. I mean, all these kids, especially if you see them play at this level, these kids have all been playing since they were 4 or 5 years old.
Right.
And it's sort of like the same way that it started over in Europe, a lot like baseball has gotten to be. And these kids all do enjoy watching it and on TV. And it's interesting. I don't know. We may be just one generation behind. It may just take one more generation where these kids become people with buying power, where they have products to sell or disposable income to spend on soccer on TV, and they therefore are willing to sit down and watch it and appreciate it, the game for what it is. Now, as I think we talked a little bit off the air, and soccer's it's a little bit different than most American sports in terms of how it's played and what the goal is. It's more akin to hockey in terms of the goal scoring. Even hockey has more goal scoring than soccer does. So I don't know. I think it's just going to take a while for these kids to come along and then get their kids involved, and I think you're going to see it really take off here in the next 10 years.
Yeah, because you always think about familiarity being the key. If people are familiar with the sport, they'll like the sport more, they know more about it. The tendency is to watch it more and to pay more attention to it. Would you like to see more soccer on the Comcast Game of the Week? If you do, give us a call, 933-6264. Roger's raising his hand.
I got 2 hands up right now.
2 hands up right through the booth. He wants to see more soccer on the Comcast Game of the Week. And if you do, give us a call and let your feelings be known. And if enough people do, Roger, we'll put more soccer on.
Like I said, I think it's pretty interesting. I know that again, because I have some familiarity with the high school program my daughter plays, and those high school kids are interested in, and they will watch a high school game. They will watch a soccer game. They may or may not necessarily sit down and watch an MLS or WUSA game yet. But they will watch a high school game because they know they've played with these kids. Mm-hmm. You have to realize that both of these teams, Amador and De La Salle, these kids play on different club teams. So they play against each other for most of the year. And then they come together from November through February and play on the same team.
Okay.
And then they go back to their club teams and play the rest of the year.
Now that's the club teams. There's tons of those, right? That's a big time deal. In fact, they probably play more games away from their high school teams than they do actually in high school.
It's not even close. What's high school? It's a 10-game season. With you throw in the playoffs, maybe you get in with I'm sorry, not a 10-game, 20-game season with everything else. It's probably about a 20-game season. They play at least 50 games with their club teams.
So for the course of a season?
For the course of a year,
a player could play upwards of 70, 75 games?
Absolutely.
In a year?
If you're playing in a lot of tournament games, where you're playing, four games a tournament, 4 games a weekend, you're playing that, plus you have playing your league where you're going to be playing at least once a week. Yeah, absolutely. You play, and again, most of these kids, as soon as this high school season's over, they may get a couple of weeks rest. They'll be back on the practice field with their club team by March 1st or March 15th at the latest.
So obviously, Roger, we're talking about you have to stay in such good physical condition to run up and down the field like this. You being another coach. Hold on that thought one moment, and let's take a look at our sponsors. And thank you so much for helping us bring to you the Comcast Game of the Week. Rocco's Ristorante and Pizzeria. Velocity Sports Performance. Dolan's Lumber, Doors, and Windows. Brentwood Dodge, Chrysler Jeep. And again, thanks to all of those folks making it possible for us to televise the Comcast Game of the Week. So, Roger, what are some of the things that you would do to keep players in shape to play soccer besides the traditional just jogging?
Well, most of these guys, like I said, they play on their club team, so their club team keeps them going year-round. They may take a week off here or there, but for the most part, these guys are going from March because they're playing in State Cup, which is the big competition for the club teams. And that for this age group, for these older guys, is begins end of April. So they're practicing from mid-March all the way through and playing all the way through spring, all the way through summer. And then after the summer season, then you get into the fall, which is your league season. Then as soon as you finish your fall league, you're right back here. You're starting your high school soccer. So they don't really have to worry about staying in shape.
So it kind of like an all year round type of thing. It never ends, kind of like the NBA.
Yeah, or the way hockey used to be when they actually played hockey.
Yeah, when they actually had a hockey season. Well, we are underway here in the second half. Teams switch sides. De La Salle now, here's that one headed
that was dangerous.
away. A very close play there. And De La Salle now headed from our right to our left, and Amador from our left to our right.
Looks like the ball must have crossed the end line down there. They're going to get a goal kick out of this.
Goal kick upcoming here for the Dons. Second half of play here from Concord. A chilly night this evening, but well, at least it's not raining. A very wet winter here in the Bay Area. And the folks in Los Angeles, I understand, getting a very heavy dose of winter weather.
Yeah, I heard on the radio yesterday. They said it rained more in Los Angeles since July than it has in Seattle. Nice tackle. That was a beautiful tackle by that center back.
Very wet.
A nice play by the center back, number 2 there for Amador.
Yeah, it looked like De La Salle was going to have another scoring chance there.
Yeah, he just had the ball stripped.
Here's one kicked ahead. James Turner.
Good idea.
And now Joel Crompton, the leading scorer for this club. Haven't called his name very much. This ball is kicked away. Fitzpatrick's got it for De La Salle. And now kicked back to the Amador side. Down the sideline. And out of bounds.
It's going to be a foul. They're going to play that ball off the ground.
And play to the far side.
This time he got too much of the leg there.
And De La Salle will have it for the throw-in. Here's Joel Crompton, number 7. You know, an interesting game in the quarterfinals for the Dons. They ended up beating Pittsburgh 2-1, but had a couple of overtime periods and finally decided on penalty kicks. But a very interesting situation where it's called an own goal, as you well know, Roger, when you kick the ball into your own goal.
Yeah, it's always
happened against Amador in that game.
Always very embarrassing. And a lot of times it's a defender trying to clear the ball and it just goes off their leg or their foot the wrong way and at an angle where the keeper doesn't expect it and just ends up going in the goal, and nobody intends it to be that way. But it's a little embarrassing, to say the least. And
it can be more than embarrassing.
Well,
say if you're saying some of the Latin American countries, I understand a player did that in one of the World Cups, and unfortunately I have to say they shot him.
Yeah. Yeah, there was another. Oh, nice!
Off the top of the crossbar, over and out of bounds, and De La Salle almost had their second goal of the game.
That was nice. That was nice. Yeah, in some countries where they take it a little more seriously.
Here's that last near goal for De La Salle.
Nice crossed into the far post and just headed over the crossbar. That's a nice play there. Unlucky.
Amador was very nearly down 2-0. Here's that throw in. Headed up there. And fortunately for Amador, it's off the top of the crossbar. And here's one toward the near side. And a throw in here coming for Amador Valley. Yeah, and we think we take some of our sports here a little seriously. You mess up in a World Cup game, you're in an awful lot of trouble.
Well, there was one guy that they talked about in the last World Cup. I forget what error he made, but he made some sort of error, and he ended up, he wouldn't even return to his country. He had someone change his citizenship, and he never went back.
Makes you think they took it kind of easy on Bill Buckner.
Yeah.
You're thinking if you have a problem like that and you get shot, you can just imagine, lucky for the 49ers, they play in the United States.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. And the Raiders both after this year.
Here's Crompton working with the ball. Amador trying to get something going here offensively. Crompton hits the ground, holding his ankle now. Ball has kicked away, and De La Salle avoids an Amador goal. And back come the Spartans. Ahead, they try to get it to Fitzpatrick, but it's booted out of bounds.
Now see down here, Crompton looked like he got fouled, but Amador retained possession. In fact, stayed in the attack.
So the referees didn't want to stop.
Right, they gave him what they call, they let him play advantage. Even though there was a foul there, Amador retained an advantage,
right.
And so you let the play out.
Take a look at it here. Here's Joel Crompton.
Does get a little bit of the ball, but he stepped right on his ankle. That was clearly a foul, but you'll see Amador retains possession of this ball, and in fact, retains possession in a good goal-scoring opportunity just outside the penalty area.
Which is such a good rule, so they let it play out. If Amador then doesn't score, then they stop it and call the foul.
Right. Usually, unless they let it, depends how long it plays.
Right. Certainly don't want to take away a chance for the team to score when it's clearly a foul against the other.
Like in this situation, he let the play all the way through, or he didn't think it was a foul, maybe, because he played the throw-in from near the half line instead of the foul near the 18.
Fitzpatrick kicking that one into the stands. And that is not a souvenir.
Not even De La Salle can afford that, I don't think.
Amador will throw it in here from the near side. This one headed.
And let's see the play advantage there. There was the dangerous play, but he let it play on.
And a whistle.
Yeah. He let it play on until as long as De La Salle had the advantage, but De La Salle lost the advantage and he went ahead and called that foul there.
Here are the Spartans. A little 2-on-2 coming down the field. Nice dribbling.
Unlucky, just a little.
And then Gagnes comes up and collects the ball.
A little strong with that last touch near the goal. That was good defensive play. That was unlucky for Patrick Dolan there.
But actually a pretty good numbers situation there for De La Salle. Had
Very
a 2-on-2.
Very good. The defender played that ball well. He made him go to the outside, didn't let him have the inside lane.
Ball here near midfield.
Nice tackle there by
taken by Norlander, number 12. And booted back toward midfield. Oh, a nice reverse head there
nice
for
little
Fitzpatrick.
flick, nice little flick on the back of the head there to take his ball wide and look for someone to cross to.
Here's Fitzpatrick, but working against 3 purple shirts, now 4.
That's a nice run on there by number 12.
And here's one booted.
That's for an opportunity where an own goal could have happened. That defender goes to clear, that ball goes off his foot. The keeper is expecting the ball to come all the way across. Next thing you know, he's pulling the ball out of the back of his net.
That was a very nice play to sort of with the back of the head to get that one forward to
nice
Fitzpatrick.
Called a flick on. Just a little flick with the back of the head there.
A flick on.
Yeah, just flicked it onto his forward there. A little aggressive play there by the De La Salle player.
Now I want to see a bicycle kick.
When do we
see that?
I'm not sure you're going to see a lot of that in high school soccer.
And De La Salle back on the attack. 3 white shirts. And then that one is handled by Gagnes, who's made about 3 or 4 saves here tonight.
Yeah, he's made some nice plays. He's taken good angles on the ball. He's really cut off the near post angle for the most part. And made them go far post. Made him have an accurate shot. That's a foul. We'll push him behind. So Amador will get a free kick there.
I think they're going to call that one against Fitzpatrick. Number 4.
Yeah, looks like the keeper is still massaging that low back there, Gagnes for Amador. He's probably still feeling some of the tinges. Probably took him out, put a little ice on it, and hopefully it gave him something for the pain over there. And put him back in. He's a gamer. He's back in here playing this game.
Well, you figured the Anderson and Excedrin would be given out pretty regularly with all the heading going on. I figure that should be some good sponsors.
Yeah,
for soccer teams.
There
some headache pain reliever type of thing would be wonderful.
So the heading it's not that bad. It doesn't hurt if you hit it with your forehead. You hit it probably. What hurts is when you miss time and end up hitting it off the top of your head.
Yes.
I mean, you don't have much protection. That tends to sting a little bit.
But you figure playing so much and so many guys trying to head at the same time, there's inevitably going to be a lot of head-to-head going on.
There's a lot less of that than you would think.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, what happens sometimes is you get the head to foot where somebody's going to kick the ball and somebody else is going to head the ball. As you get that's a foul. That's a dangerous play. Whenever you bring your foot up high near someone's head, you're going to get called for a foul for the most part.
Isn't it also illegal to head the ball, try to head the ball when it's too low? Is there a rule against that?
You can be called, not necessarily for that. You can be, but you might be called for putting yourself into a dangerous position, or more likely than not, they will just wave off the dangerous play, where the other player would be called for a foul if they think you're the one who put yourself in that position.
But not only is it a dangerous play, but it's not very smart.
No. Those are the kind of plays you only do once or twice.
Yeah, and then you learn real quickly not to do them again.
Yeah, you learn pretty fast.
Spartans trying to get to the zone. This one booted away.
Tried to go to the corner with that ball, just didn't quite get it there.
Mustafa Rapawala getting that out of the zone. Crompton had it, kicked it over to the side. Here's one driven toward the end line. They give chase, and an out of bounds it goes.
Be a goal kick.
Rocco's Ristorante and Pizzeria voted best pizza in the East Bay. Ignacio Valley Road at Oak Grove. And Velocity Sports Performance, 1505 Willow Pass Road in Concord, 363-0066. Dolan's Lumber, Doors, and Windows, 2750 Camino Diablo in Walnut Creek, and 2231 Monument Boulevard in Concord.
Saw the Velocity owner, Steve Ritchie, sitting right down there in front.
Brentwood Dodge Chrysler Jeep, 8085 Brentwood Boulevard in Brentwood, 634-9900. And whistle stops play here as Amador was looking to go on the offensive end. Fitzpatrick hit the ground. Amador with it. And out of bounds it goes, far side. Now, Roger, do you play a lot of high school soccer in high school, or?
I actually didn't. I played in middle school. I didn't play in high school, and then I played some more when I just intramural soccer when I got into college. But I went to high school. Amador Valley is my alma mater, and it was pretty big then. Ballistic Soccer, which is the club team for Pleasanton, is a big time club, and it's been around. I played in it. I won't tell you how many years ago that was, but it was just trust me, it was a long time ago, and it's been around for a long time. And it's a very very well established club. It's one of the better clubs around, and it has been a big soccer hotbed for a long time.
I remember many years ago when I was playing Pop Warner football, there were at times when they didn't get quite as many players as they had hoped as this ball goes out of bounds, because a lot of the players instead were choosing to play soccer. I guess a lot of the parents felt that it was safer, and of course a lot of the kids just, hey, I'd rather play soccer than play football.
Right. Well, I know when a few years ago they started, it's probably more than a few years ago, they started spring soccer for some of the younger kids, and Little League was talking about they had a big drop-off once they started that, because so many kids were sticking with spring soccer instead of Little League, and just because I think they obviously when you're 5 years old, T-ball is not quite as exciting as running around on a soccer field to get to kick the ball.
Here's Spartans on the attack.
It's a nice little touch, ball into the box.
And headed away. Tough vantage point for us as we're looking under that deep corner.
We can't see much there.
Thrown in and then out of bounds again.
It's going to be a foul.
And it looks like they're going to call Crompton for a foul against Amador Valley. And take a look at it here. Here's that throw in.
Yeah, he's starting to play the ball. It just comes right up, just takes his ankle right out from under him. I think he tried to play the ball, but he missed. And
Crompton was complaining a little bit about that, but clearly on that replay,
I don't think he had much to complain about.
Kicking the ankle there.
So now De La Salle just asked for 10 yards. You have to get 10 yards away from the ball. It's a nice low ball. It's going to go.
This one down to the corner and out of bounds.
Yeah, to Amador.
And Amador will throw it in. Toss it back toward midfield. Couple of head shots. Crompton kicks it ahead. And then when booted away by Nick Seifel, looked like Amador was going to get something going there, and Seifel able to kick that one out of bounds. Near side throw in for the Dons.
Nice little juggling there in the midfield. Unfortunately, couldn't quite control it.
And kicked out of bounds on the far side.
And his teammate on the sideline there just couldn't quite find him.
Down the 25th minute here in the second half. Purchase your copy of this game. Shipping courtesy of UPS included. $25, 933-6264. Amador keeping it on the De La Salle side. Trying to mount an attack. Got a couple of chances so far in this game, but still have the goose egg. 1-0. The Dolan score in the 32nd minute. The only goal of the game so far. Here comes De La Salle. 4 white shirts down the offensive end. That one is kicked.
Just wide.
Is
side
just
netting.
Wide. It hit the side of the net. And I was about to yell, goal! Didn't get a chance to do it. Was here for a moment like that was the second goal of the game, but just wide. Take another look.
A nice shot just inside the keeper.
And that's tricky for my vantage point. I mean, it looks like it's taking the net right there.
Yeah, that was nice. That was a nice shot at the near post there.
So Amador dodges a bullet.
It looks like Gagnus is rubbing that back again.
Here's one headed backwards.
Nice Nice ball. Nice ball on there down the right wing.
Down the far side, out of bounds it goes. And the Spartans will have a throw in. So with all the different soccer leagues that we've seen over the years, we can go way back. I remember the San Francisco Fog, or way back, and of course the San Jose Earthquakes. And Pele, I guess, played for the New York Cosmos here for a while.
Right.
And they had the indoor league, a lot faster, a lot more goals scored. But for some reason or another, Roger, as we see one sent toward the goal, knocked away.
Headed out.
See if Amador can clear this one. Here's one kicked.
That was a nice turn and shoot. It was a nice defensive play to keep that out of the goal.
Amador trying to clear this one. And out of bounds again. Another throw in here for the Spartans. But why is it that American audiences have not taken to watching pro soccer?
I don't know. I think it is starting to catch on little by little. I think you're starting to get some big names, some recognizable names. When you think back, when you're talking about the Cosmos and the Earthquakes, other than Pele, can you name a single player on the team?
Nope.
And now you ask the kids and other people around, they can tell you. They can name names to you. Landon Donovan, Brian McBride, names like that. Eddie Pope.
Kobe.
Kobe Jones with the LA Galaxy.
Right.
All those players, and now that they're known, just like the Brandy Chastains,
But she's famous for another reason. It was that whole shirtless thing, right?
Yeah, there you go. And Mia Hamm and Julie Foudy and all those people. People are getting to know their names and they can recognize them, like you talked about before, the familiarity. And they are becoming familiar with the names. And now especially you see some of the... Wow, it's a nice shot.
Oh, Gagnes with a save.
Nice shot.
Diving save for Gagnes. Another nice shot. And De La Salle time and time again here, Roger, are coming up with good shots on goal, good opportunities to score. But still, they have just the one goal of the night.
Gagnes is keeping Amador in this game. He's made some very nice saves. But I think now that... and the other thing that you're going to start to see, another foul there. Another thing you're going to start to see is some of the American players like Landon Donovan and Brian McBride and some of the keepers have made their way over to the European League where it is big time. And they're playing for the big teams. This is a nice shot with the left foot here. Nice low-driven ball.
Boy, look at this ball just hugged the ground. And
nice save. He smothered that ball.
Onto the shoulder there to make that save. Nicely done.
But you see the American players now playing the English Premier League and Bundesliga, and I think that's going to also draw some more attention.
Because we talk about the familiarity, and like I said, when I go all the way back to the 70s, when soccer was a big-time youth sport then, those people now at my age are in their 30s, early 40s, and here comes De La Salle trying to get something going. But Kyle Schlump trying to thwart this effort. See if he can't clear this one here for the Dons. Spartans take it back, keep it in the offensive end.
A little bit of an exchange there, but the referee said play on.
And this one kicked to the far side. We talk about the familiarity and the people in my generation that played a lot of soccer. I mean, even in grammar school, one of our favorite PE games was soccer, and yet people from my era and my generation, we don't watch a lot of soccer.
Yeah, I think it's going to come. Like I said, I think we're just a generation behind. I think there's more and more. When you have people like myself and others, whose kids have been playing a lot, and we watch, and we're probably one of the in the minority. But I think pretty soon you're going to see more of that. That was a nice little back heel there down the left wing.
It looks like De La Salle, even though they're only leading 1-0, Roger, it looks like they're starting to take control of this game right now.
Nice ball down the left side there into the penalty area. Nice near post shot.
Score!
That's an own goal. I think it was off the defender's foot.
And Gagnes upset. The ball in the net. De La Salle all pumped up and happy. Number 14, Devin Perez.
He'll get credit for that goal, but I think it was I think it went off the Amador defender's foot. That was a nice shot.
Take another look here. Perez going to be nearest to this goal, but
yeah.
No,
it was off
like
no.
It was
Perez. Okay, that was.
And kicked that ball at the last moment.
Nice little flick. That was a beautiful little flick there.
After it was
near
struck
post.
by Alex Harkins, number 20. And then Perez
goal cam.
able to get his right foot on this one and send it into the goal.
Yeah, that's nice. He just flicked it past the keeper.
And in the 19th minute, Perez has made it a 2-0 De La Salle advantage.
Well, and as you mentioned, Tony, that De La Salle been knocking on that door all the second half.
It looked like they had started to take control of this game, keeping the ball on the offensive end more often than not, and they've been getting good opportunities all night, and we figured sooner or later they're going to catch some of those in.
Well, if you keep the ball down at the other team's end, good things are going to happen. The odds are in your favor. And plus, too, I mean, the good thing about keeping the ball at the other team's end is keep it away from your end. It's a nice little swinging across the back there for De La Salle to bring the ball up.
There's one taken away. Crompton, now the whistle blows.
It's a nice slide tackle.
Crompton got up there in a hurry, made the throw in, but they're going to change this, and actually De La Salle is going to have the opportunity to toss it in. You know, I hate to say 2-0, an insurmountable lead. It does seem like a fairly comfortable lead at this point for the Spartans.
Especially with
still a lot of time left.
Especially with as few scoring opportunities Amador has had. They really haven't threatened at all.
No, not too much.
You know, other than...
Fry has made a couple of good saves that were close, but other than that, not a whole lot of chances, a whole lot of opportunities here for the purple-cladded Dons. Here's one sent toward us, and another non-souvenir. Clicking down towards 17:20 to go.
Now, interestingly enough, it looks like Amador is still going to stay in that two front with just two forwards, even though they're down by 2 goals. I thought maybe they'd slide another forward up top, but right now they seem to be playing with just well,
tell me about some strategy that you might use, Roger, to try to generate a little more offense if you're the guys in purple.
Well, you probably want to go with 3 forwards, I would think. Just create your increase your scoring chances. Maybe go to stay with your 3 in the back. And push your midfielders up a little bit, because at this point in time, if you lose this game, you go home, and if you lose 2-0 or 5-0, it's still a loss.
Still the same.
So you might as well play to score and try and get you back in the game.
Well, into this 10-team field here for this NCS tournament, NCS championships, De La Salle came in ranked number 2. Amador came in ranked number 6. And some familiar teams from this area. San Ramon was number 4. And we might just be out here Saturday for the championship game. Again, check the Contra Costa Times and the local times. And if we do air that, we'll have it for you Sunday at 3 and then again at 7 o'clock. That would be the NCS championship game right here on Comcast, if, in fact, we do telecast. Now here are the Spartans keeping up the pressure.
Play on.
Referee says play on here. Amador kicks it down, and De La Salle able to send it right back. Here's Crompton. Joel, the leading scorer of this club, hasn't had a whole lot of opportunities here.
Maybe a substitution? That's the substitution. It's an international substitution sign.
Finger over finger.
You see in soccer, there are a lot of international signs because it's a world game. And so a lot of times, especially in the World Cup, you'll have German referees refereeing a game between France and Spain, and so there's not a whole lot of verbal communication that takes place. A lot of pointing and gesturing.
The verbal probably wouldn't do a whole lot of good in that situation. Here's one booted goalward. And crashing into the goalkeeper. That has got to be a foul against De La Salle there.
Yeah, it will be. Because goalkeepers they're kind of like quarterbacks in football. They're very exposed. And so the referees go to great pains to make sure that they are that they are taken care of. Because when your body is fully extended like that, you're very vulnerable.
You take a look at Gagnus going up, and there's the contact there.
Patrick Dolan ran in trying to get his head on the ball. It wasn't intentional. He was clearly just going up to head the ball, but the keeper was exposed right there, and so the keeper's going to get the benefit of that doubt. And the foul's going to go in favor of Amador Valley.
So Amador here set to kick it away. Kyle Schlumpf will do the honors. And actually,
that's going to go the other way.
Kyle Schlumpf, one of the Amador players that have signed letters of intent. Schlumpf headed for the University of San Francisco.
He's a good player. He's a big, tall, central defender.
Rocco's Restaurante and Pizzeria, voted best pizza in the East Bay. Ignacio Valley Road at Oak Grove. Here's one sent toward the goal. Gagnes there makes the catch. Kind of looked like a center fielder waiting for a fly ball that time.
I was going to signal for a fair catch there. Maybe that's a pretty easy one for him to bring down.
And speaking of Andrew, he is headed to Sac State. And Joel Crompton, who we've mentioned a couple times here recently, off to UC Riverside. So 3 of the Dons playing at the next level.
That's going to be an instruction. Yep.
That must be a fulfillment of some dreams. You come up, playing soccer, all along in your youth, and now full scholarship rides or partial scholarships, whatever they may be, to go to college and play on at the next level, and who knows?
Absolutely. I tell you, these kids, from the time they're in, maybe not elementary school, but certainly by the time they get to grade school, they know which kids from high schools around here are going to which colleges.
Right.
And which colleges have good programs. And it is a bit of a dream, it's maybe not quite like making the big leagues in baseball yet, but it's still, to get a full ride on a soccer scholarship, which are very competitive, that's a major accomplishment.
Well, it certainly is, because you think about all the people that are playing soccer, as we said earlier, in the youth, to be able to make it to that level, you got to be a pretty special player.
Yeah, you do. It is very competitive.
The last I heard, those colleges, they don't give those scholarships away for nothing.
No, they don't. We're going to get a foul here.
Like Scott Schwartz hit the ground there for
That's going to be a yellow. That's going to be a yellow card, number 2. Schrump.
And Schrump
for dissent.
He gets the yellow card here.
For dissent. He slammed the ball. He wasn't very happy with the call. Referee, he got a red card.
A red card, and Schlump is out of the game.
He's gone.
And now Amador, down 2-0, will have to play a man down here.
No, it's a soft yellow, so they won't have to play a man down.
Even when he showed the red?
He gave him the yellow.
First.
Then he kept talking. He kept dissenting. And so, again, if you continue this replay, you see him, he slammed the ball down, and that's what the referee got mad. And then he continued.
So Kyle is disqualified,
right?
But the Dons Villegas can send on another player.
They did send somebody. Here he comes right now.
All right.
So they're still playing at full force, but they're out without one of their best players.
One of their better players.
Probably their best defender.
And it looked like number 5, Joe Carlucci, I believe, coming off the Dons bench. To replace Schrump.
I think it was number 10 that came in.
I thought Ross Smith was already in the game. At any event, they are playing at full strength.
They are,
That
right.
we do know for
that
sure.
we do know. They have 11 players on the field.
All right, the Spartans leading 2-0, trying to mount another attack.
Oh,
here's one, threw it toward the goal, and that's a score! DLS up 3-0.
That was nicely done. Very well composed in the penalty area there. Nice little shot to the side netting.
And Devin Perez, Roger, has his second goal of the game here at the 10:38 mark. So Perez makes it a nearly insurmountable 3-goal lead here for the Spartans.
He got a nice ball. There it is. He gets a nice through ball right through. Beautiful ball to him right there. Very well composed here. A little touch. Puts another touch. Puts on the right foot. Just bends it just inside the outside post into the side netting. Very nice shot.
So Devin Perez, a couple of goals here. He had 7 goals, 8 assists, 22 points overall coming in to today's action, and he's put up a pair of goals today, and that's kind of like having a 3-homer game in baseball.
Yeah, I mean, it's anytime you get more than 1 goal in the game, you're doing something special, because they're, like we talked about before, the goals are few and far between, especially at this level, teams of this caliber.
So Amador Valley, here's a player hits the ground.
That's going to be a yellow. Oh,
a red. Yellow card, and now a red card.
A red, automatic. Wow, I'm kind of surprised. He didn't even give him a warning.
So no soft yellow there then.
No, he's gone. And will play a player down. That was a bit early.
Number 20 is Nestor Negrete, hitting the ground hard for Amador Valley.
I'm not quite sure why the referee thought that was deserving of a red, but he must have thought that there was some intent.
Now, is this officially called a contact sport? Looked like it should be.
Well, it's kind of like basketball. That it's not really it's not supposed to be a contact sport, but you get to this level with these kids. And these kids are, they may not be 6'4", 260 pounds, but these are some big kids out here, and they're strong, and there's going to be a lot of contact. They're big and fast and strong, and there's going to be a lot more contact than you would otherwise suspect.
You hear like sports like basketball, and people would say that they're a non-contact sport, but then you see so much contact. I guess a lot of that contact is not legal,
right?
But still, bodies are going to be colliding nonetheless.
And it's a lot, again, a lot of it's in the discretion of the referee. And this referee, he's done a pretty good job actually keeping the game in check and not letting it get out of hand. When he's seen a dangerous play, he's whistled it.
I'll tell you, Matt Norlander, number 12, was running down trying to chase that ball. And then the goalkeeper came up for De La Salle, Fry, to boot it away. And Norlander very wisely took a U-turn right there at the last second, exit stage left to avoid getting pummeled with that ball.
Yeah, Fry's got a pretty strong leg. I don't think I'd want to get in the way of that.
So De La Salle has turned into a rather dominating performance here, leading now 3-0.
And a free kick.
Here's a De La Salle free kick. Amador trying to clear. Dolan scored in the 32nd minute to make it 1-0. Perez scored in the 19th minute to make it 2, and then Perez again in the 10th minute here in the second half to make it a 3-0 Spartans lead, and that's where we stand.
See, again, I know that they're trying to keep the game from getting much.
Velocity Sports Performance, 1505 Willow Pass Road in Concord, 363-0066. Dolan's Lumber Doors and Windows, 2750 Camino Diablo in Walnut Creek. Here's a throw-in for the Spartans.
Again, I know they're trying to keep the game in check here, but De La Salle's keeping 3 back, and Amador's only sending 1 forward up top right now when they had that play just now.
That was Crompton.
So their numbers down. If they do get the ball forward, they're not giving their forward much of a chance, but they must figure that they've got the midfield to play that way, so they're just going to bring their midfield up quickly.
Desperation time for Amador. They need goals, and they need them quickly, or their season will come to an end. A very successful season for Amador Valley. 18 wins this year. It looks like they're going to fall one game short of the championship game. And here's one. Gagnis makes the stop there.
That's Kamenescu again.
Kamenescu, pardon me. They've changed. Gagnis is out of the game again.
Yeah, I think those back spasms must have flared up on him.
Kamenescu makes a nice play there. And it looked like for a moment that De La Salle had a chance for a 4th goal. Here's one flicked away. Chase this one down the corner near side. Down under 6 minutes left here in the ball game. It's going to be a foul. And whistle stops play, and we have a foul.
He's going to get a yellow.
And there's a yellow card
for Dolan.
Seen more cards lately than in a poker game.
This is a pretty aggressive challenge right here. Missed the ball and got the leg. That's going to get you a penalty, or at least I should say that's going to get you a foul every time. That time the referee thought it was a little more deserving of more than just a foul. Again, so Dolan will have to leave the field until the next stoppage of play. And so there's a substitute coming in the field right now for De La Salle.
Dolan's Lumber Doors and Windows, also at 2231 Monument Boulevard in Concord. Brentwood Dodge Chrysler Jeep, 8085 Brentwood Boulevard in Brentwood, 634-9900. And we want to thank Gene and Clark over there. Big time helping us put this telecast together. Couldn't do it without their support. Thanks very much.
That's one off the chest there.
Crompton launching one and wide right.
That's crossing. Again, they're having to settle for some long distance shots.
So you were talking about defense earlier, and De La Salle has been absolutely wonderful defensively. And take nothing away from Stefan Fry, who's a wonderful goalkeeper, but he's had a fairly easy time of it.
He has
goal.
De La Salle has done a good job of keeping Amador out wide, and whenever they're in the middle of the field, of keeping them under pressure so they don't get any clear looks. And now it looks like, well, not sure. But again, a lot of it has to do with the fact that they just have Amador outnumbered. Now it looks like Amador's gone to a 3 front. They've pushed up a 3rd forward, and so now they're going to play with 3, and so now they're going to go 3 versus 4 instead of 2 versus 4. De La Salle's going to stay and keep their 4 backs back, but this should give Amador some more opportunities up top.
Headed down to 3.5 minutes remaining in the game, and then of course we'll get that stoppage at 2 minutes, and then the officials will keep the time on the field. And according to their judgment, they'll add however much time they think is necessary.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be much time added, at least as of now. There haven't been any major stoppages like we saw in the first half where we had the Gagnus go down with the injury and we had some stoppage there. Hasn't really been anything like that. We had the red card incident, but that really didn't take that long.
Now, I have to ask you, why don't they go to a situation that other time sports go to? Ball's out of bounds, you stop the clock.
It's always been running time. It's just the way soccer is. You look at most of the stadiums, though, the balls really don't go out of bounds that often. You know, I mean, if you look at professional stadiums, they all have those placards up with all the advertisements around them. So when the balls go over those, they've got ball kids who throw the balls right back in. So there really isn't much time lost.
But as far as a fan in the stadium, say you're watching the game, it's kind of an important thing to know how much time is left late in the ball game, you know, because when to get excited, when not to get excited.
It is. It's pretty tough. That's just, again, it's just one of those things. That's just the way soccer has evolved. The soccer referee has got a lot more authority than even a football referee or a baseball umpire. And they really are in charge down there.
Here's De La Salle back on the attack. And Ross Smith trying to send this one the other way, and he does. I remember years ago I was reading that football actually used to do that. They didn't have the ability to keep the time in the games a long time ago. And, of course, the fans would get really frustrated because late in the game, they didn't know how many plays were left in a game. And then finally, when they did get the stadium clocks going, it just made it a lot easier on the fans, a lot more enjoyable for the people viewing the game.
Well, it's nice just having the stadium clock here just being down to the last 2 minutes because most of the club games that we play, we don't have that. You're on your own watch, and you hope that you're kind of guessing that your watch is roughly the same as the referee's.
Try to sync up your watch with his and hope it stays on time.
So you hope you're close.
It's another dominating performance here for De La Salle. You know, take a look at the Spartans, and pretty much soccer royalty, just like in basketball and football for these guys. I mean, NCS champs, 89, 91, 96, 01, 03.
Yeah, they've got
a number
of
of
good
titles
program
here.
They've had a good program here, and again, they draw well. They draw some good players, and they've had a good program. It's all about the program too, because you're bringing kids in from the freshman to JV and on up to the varsity.
Here's one headed away. Another Amador scoring chance.
De La Salle's just putting the ball forward. They're playing right now with basically one forward, and they dropped their back in the midfield, and they're playing with one guy up top. He's pretty fast. They're just putting the ball up and seeing if they can get a long ball into him, if he can outrun someone for it.
You know, talk about dominating your league. The Spartans have dominated the BBAL. They won that title in '89, and then '91 through '03. Completely dominated and won every BBL championship over that span. And sometimes they win so much, Roger, I'll tell you, it gets a little boring and probably frustrating for a lot of the other teams.
Well, I'm sure some of the other teams in the league aren't, the Clayton Valleys, the Deer Valleys, the Pittsburghs, they're probably pretty tired of it. A little bit of a foul there, and restart here for Amador. And they're just putting the ball up. They've De La Salle substituted quite a bit.
$3-0 in favor of the Spartans. And Amador was hoping to get a little payback for that football season when De La Salle in that state playoff game routed the Dons 41-0, but no payback will be forthcoming here this evening.
I think they're going to have to wait for baseball or track or something.
But, you know, De La Salle's probably real good at all those sports, too. I mean, why even kid ourselves?
Referee's checking his watch, so there can't be much time here.
And we are down to that 2-minute mark. And now the rest of the time will be kept on the field. Spartans booting this ball all the way. And Kamenescu coming up with that one. And he boots it back the other way.
That was offside. That's the first offside call we've had tonight.
And I'm glad, because even after I read about it and you explained it to me, I still don't get it.
You're not alone. I probably shouldn't say this, but hopefully none of the referees that ref my games are listening. But most of the referees don't understand the offside call. But
well, that's pretty tough. I mean, it's tough to figure out.
It is. It's difficult because there's a lot of discretion involved in it as well. But it's a tough call. But I'm surprised. That's the first offside call we've had tonight, and the game's nearly over.
The idea is to prevent what they call cherry picking.
Right. Exactly.
Right? You don't want to have one guy waiting there for the ball to get down there and then have an easier chance at a goal.
Right. It just makes the game a little more legitimate. It'd be like playing basketball, like I said, just having one guy just parked under the bat and playing with four guys on defense all the time. Just takes a little bit of the spirit out of the game.
Here's Crompton working with it. And that was Dronkers, number 14. Crompton again. Here's Amador trying to put one in here before time expires. And De La Salle will skip it away.
To put on goal. Now he's going to just serve it wide.
Dronkers again. Game. And that is the end of the ball game.
Oh, no, it's not. He's just offside. Oh, wow.
Pardon me.
Second offside call we've had.
I'm anticipating the end of the game.
So was I. I thought he was too blue. That was a long whistle for an offside call. But again, you could just see in that last play where De La Salle, every time the ball's in the middle of the field, it's under pressure. And the only time that anybody has any room to play the ball is out wide. So they let the players out wide have some space, but you have no angle on the goal. The only best you can do is cross it. And the players in the middle of the field are all under pressure when they get the ball. So there aren't any free shots for them. Here again, immediately, number 17 is under pressure in the middle of the field for Amador.
Ball kicked, and this one will go up into the stands.
Steve Ritchie there, the Velocity owner, plays it back in.
He's in good shape.
He's in good shape. Yeah.
Here's one booted toward the goal, and Fry another fairly routine chance, and that's pretty much the way they've been, although I think one or two he made some nice plays on, but for the most part they've been fairly to moderately easy for him.
Yeah, his defense has done a good job for him. That's the end of the game.
And that is the end of the game. Final score, the Spartans beat the Dons 3-0, but stay tuned. We will have the players of the game coming up next.
For decades, Dolan's has been providing the finest quality name brands for new construction and home improvement. Superior names like Marvin, Anderson, Milgard, Posey, and more. But it's Dolan's low truckload pricing and tradition of superior customer service that makes this retailer preferred by builders, architects, and homeowners throughout the community. Visit your nearest Dolan's and discover how affordable the very best can be. And join Dolan's in supporting your local team.
Savings so big, you do a double take.
Final closeout prices on all 2004 models.
Double take savings on all Ram pickups.
$9,000 off on this 2500 quad cab. Dominic and Dante, Clark's twins, have given us a great reason to have a double take sale. You gotta look twice.
Double take savings on Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Your double take price, $21,488.
Big city selection, small town prices, and double take savings.
Brentwood Dodge Chrysler Jeep in Brentwood.
Hi, I'm Rocco Vialli, and I'd like to welcome you to Rocco's Ristorante and Pizzeria here in Walnut Creek. Rocco's is a great place for family dining. In addition to serving the best pizza in the East Bay, Rocco's also serves many classic Italian pasta specialties. Make Rocco's your home for your next team party.
Great pizza, great pasta.
Great people. Rocco's is part of your community.
Hi, I'm Rob from Central Pinup. Check this out. Oil filter crusher. Did you know that every drained used oil filter that comes off your car still contains up to a cup of used oil? That used oil can destroy our environment and water supply. Do the right thing and place your used oil filter in a clear Ziploc bag and place it on the curb with the rest of the recyclable items. If your city does not have curbside used oil recycling, take it to your nearest certified used oil and filter recycling center. Call ahead for hours and the amount accepted. What more, if all the oil filters that were sold yearly in the United States were recycled, you would have enough steel to build 16 pro sports stadiums. Be good to the earth. Recycle your used oil and filters for a better tomorrow. Call 1-800-NO-DUMPING or check out our website at www.funnelhead.com.
It doesn't matter what sport you play. It doesn't matter what position you play. It doesn't matter whether you're turning pro or just starting out. It doesn't even matter how old you are. If you want to maximize your potential, you need Velocity Sports Performance. Velocity Sports Performance. Maximize your potential. We guarantee it.
friend Snoop fuck off. That's why you're in the water.